This is a little bit of a test of my new camera setup, and also a bit of a chat about what is coming up on the railway in the future. But just because I know you will love it, cut to the metal. That is a great intro. So, I'm just pushing my daughter back from town. Things that are coming up on the railway. The tram is finished as much as it can be. So, had a little project. It's done and dusted. The beer wagon is done. Everything is done. So, I don't think I'll build another one with that kind of level of remote control, because it's kind of annoying. So what I've done is I have ordered a little from IP Engineering in the UK. They have a line of trains called the Easy something like that, which are real basic little trains with just sort of like 2 AAA batteries and a motor, and you can get a variety of different kind of things, and they're just made of, I think, kind of laser cut wood. I ordered 2 very basic wagons and an engine, but the engine doesn't have a body on it. And I have a box full of Raspberry Pis, which never get used for anything. So I'm going to build one of the Raspberry Pis onto the train, and then using the GPIO ports on the Raspberry Pi to control a little engine driver, motor driver bit of kit, and then that will then drive the train. So the plan is to have one Raspberry Pi on the train, powered by some kind of lithium-ion battery pack on the train, and then another Raspberry Pi with one of the 7-inch touchscreens, which I already own, and they'll both be effectively on the same wireless network, and one will be able to control the other with basically a touchscreen control with stop, start, reverse, effectively, forwards, back, stop. And initially that'll be all it does. There won't be any speed, it will go at set speed, unless it seems easy to be able to do the speed. And that'll be it. But having the Raspberry Pi on the train means that if I wanted to put a camera on the train, theoretically you could then live stream from the train. Not that anyone would ever watch that, but it's something to keep my mind amused in the dark hours. So that's happening. I've ordered the IP Engineering stuff, so that's on the way from the UK. It might take a while. I've bought the motor driver bit of kit, which is made by a company called Adafruit, and I already own all the Raspberry Pi stuff. I will need to buy a battery pack at some point, but I can wait until it's pretty much done before I do that. And then just need to sort of work out what kind of design I want the train to be. I think like a little diesel shunter or something. I'm also going to try and do it with a bit more, actually, with a little person on it for scale, because the previous one didn't really have that. So that's that train. The other thing I wanted is I want to have some live steam on the railway. Now the railway's too small really, and the curves are too tight to have anything like a big mainline steam engines. It'd have to be something small, sort of the same size as the current electric tram that you've all been watching, and that I think will be from a company called AccuCraft. They have a thing called a Ruby and a thing called a Dora, and the Dora seems to be the one to go for. The Ruby apparently is just super fast, which, considering a big portion of my track is 3 foot off the ground without any barriers, I'd like to be able to something that could go a bit slowly around there so it doesn't just ping itself off. So the Dora is the thing. You can't actually get one in Australia at the moment, although there is a delivery coming in, so I'm on the waiting list for that. But don't tell the wife about that one, because she doesn't know I'm going to get that. But that's like a long-term childhood dream of mine, and actually, other than playing Glastonbury, is probably the last sort of childhood thing I wanted to do. So yes, okay. So that's all the engines, and really it's just trackside stuff. So I have 2 sets of points on the railway currently, which in honesty I don't really use. But if I ever if I ever add track going further up, around the garden and have to redesign the big oval, then being able to keep the small oval there just to run trains round and round would be quite good. It's also quite good if you, I don't know, my 2 children are slightly older, if they want to just watch something go round near to the house, then we can do that. Anyway, at the moment there's no signs on the points, so you don't really know if it's set to go up the long track or around the short track. So you can buy some kind of old school British sort of rail points with the arms that go up and down, but I don't really want those. I want to make them myself, so I'm going to have to try and work out how to do that. And I do have an arm that goes backwards and forwards like that with a little thing on it, so I feel like I should be able to just put a lever on the end of that going up a pole, and then it moves enough just to move a flag up or down or something, just to show which way it's going. But I have to I never really did engineering or mechanical engineering at school, so I have to have a think about that one as we go. Otherwise, carry on planting up the middle, and I think I'm going to have to take some of the long straight legs off, especially across the back, and basically dig out all of the bison grass, because it's just taking over. So I think at some point when I'm feeling strong, I'm just going to have to go and strip it all at the same time, take the track out. The track's not very well fixed in at the moment, so it wouldn't be too damaging to take it out, dig all the grass out, put it back. Also means I could probably do something a bit more permanent with the long bridges to make it more interesting or more stable. Just going to get run over, and then we'll do all that. But all that sort of takes money, so might just have to get in there with a strimmer to start with and chop it all back. Sorry, for all you Australians, a strimmer is a whippersnipper, and actually for all you Brits, a whippersnipper is a strimmer. There you go. Anyway, so I have to do all that. That's all boring. It makes my back hurt, but for the long-term health of the railway, it will need to be done. So probably should really do that first, but I've just had a baby. I'm very tired. I'm not going to be digging up the garden, probably until it's more wintry, so it's a bit cooler in the garden. Almost there. So what's on? Signs? Oh, sorry. Signals? Yes. Planting? Yes. New train? Yes. New secret steam train? Yes. Okay, that's everything that's coming up. I'm going to be one of those horrible YouTube people now and say, if you like this channel, or you don't even like it, if you're interested in it and you watch it, whether you've come from the G-Scale Central message boards, or whether you're a family member in the UK, or someone I used to work with, Dan, Jason, Sean, Alex, Riaz, anyone like that, then please subscribe and like my videos, because I have 11 subscribers at the moment, and I can't really do anything fun until I get 100, I think, or 1,000 likes. So I need to get those numbers up, then I can start doing live streams of the trains going around, which I know you're all desperate to see, and can do longer videos than 15 minutes, which is what I'm stuck with at the moment. I'm going to get run over again. So if you could do that, that would be ace. And yeah, leave me a message in the comments if there's anything you'd want to see on the railway. Potential. I live very near Hornsby Model Engineers Club, which is out towards Galston, if you know where that is. But that is very much old dudes with steam trains, and I'd probably lower the demographic age group by about 50 years. Maybe I'm being generous to myself, 30 years. And but it might be interesting to go out there and have a look, maybe see if I can take my train to run on their tracks, which would give the GoPro mount on the back of the train something a bit more interesting to look at. In fact, I might do that, do a series of videos going and visiting people and going around the track with a GoPro on the back. Who knows? So if you're watching this and you live in Sydney or near Sydney, within an hour and a half of Sydney, and you have a G-scale track, and you wouldn't mind me coming and visiting and doing a run round of your track, then let me know, because We don't really do that. I find the model train community, garden railway community, kind of weird like that. It's sort of very, maybe it's the age group, but I'm sorry for anyone who is under the age of 60 that does garden trains, but other than a few notable ones, the Peckforton Light Railway, the Sandstone and Termite Light Railway, it's sort of hard to find anyone, and they're both very good. But if you ask anyone else that's kind of doing anything sort of like community-wise, maybe because I haven't joined a club and therefore not seeing it, but when I've been looking at videos about setting up GoPros or things like that, there's hundreds of thousands of people doing little vlogs about what the best settings are for cinematic or da-da-da. But when it comes to sort of people showing off their displays and stuff, I can't really find it. You sort of want little mini documentaries about people's lines. Someone goes and visits them and says, you know, what's the thinking behind it? Because all these model railways, some people try and recreate specific places, but a lot of people's railways are complete fabrications. It's like a railway that fantasy lives in their head. Mine definitely is. It's like a jungle mining railway, and that's what mine is, which never existed, you know? So these people are all highly creative and interesting and make these phenomenal engineering feats around their gardens. I just don't see why there isn't more interest about it. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, I'm rambling now. So yes, like, subscribe, leave me a comment saying what you'd like to see. And yes, more trains to come.